Sony did a big blunder, and Xbox is switching to digital, it looks like. But what's the advantage of going all digital? Why go all digital? Why not go stay physical? Well, we're going to discuss that today on Raw and Nerdy.
You are listening to Raw and Nerdy.
All right. So, as y'all can see, I have Miss Rabbit with us again, as always. our step-in guest host while Archon is away. Like the intro said, we're talking about PlayStation's. I'm calling it their blunder because they've gotten a massive amount of pushback on this. If you haven't heard, beginning of July, the beginning of this month, they came out and said they are in 2028. They are stopping all physical media. It's going straight to. They're going to stop manufacturing all physical discs. They're going straight digital, and they got a bunch of pushback. You heard about that?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Obviously, I'm not a fan as a parent, as a gamer since the 90s. Not a fan of this at all.
Not a lot of people are. There's already been pushback on the licensing side of things because the big push is you're buying a license for the game. You're not buying to own the game. And if they decide to just delete something from their store, you can never get it again, even if you paid for it. And that's the big push a lot of people are giving to push back on it is if I bought it, I own it. And their fear is if they'd said, hey, we're going to purchase these 500 games from our PlayStation store, so be it. But I want to talk about the memes.
They've been epic. I'm really enjoying everybody just kind of trolling PlayStation for this move right now because, I mean, it is ridiculous, as just as ridiculous as some of these other counter offers have sounded, and just epic trolling. I love it. I can't wait to go over these.
Oh yeah. So my birthday was July 2nd, and I sat at my house just reading some of these. Domino's Pizza UK, they posted a tweet saying breaking news, and they marked it as an official statement. In response to the trends in the gaming industry, as of April 1st, 2027, Domino's UK will cease production of physical pizzas and shift to production of digital pizzas only. Consumers will be able to download our full range of delicious pizza codes and, using the power of imagination, enjoy them in an entirely virtual sense.
I love that.
The screenshot that this was taken from for the article that pulled up a couple of them, it had 514.2 thousand likes and over 7,000 replies.
My God, that's awesome.
And then KFC did one referencing an early 2000s ad that attempted to deter digital piracy. So it says, breaking news, KFC will stop offering its physical format starting today, as products can only be consumed through its app in fake PNG format. That's a good one. And it's a 30-second ad where they're just making fun of the early 2000s ad about piracy and all that.
Yes.
And that one had over 25,000 likes. So it's ridiculous. These companies are coming out making fun of PlayStation for this. But that got me into doing a little bit more research, and I learned that Xbox is testing a new program. They're testing a program. They're testing a program that is disc to digital feature. What they're going to do is, if you own a physical game collection, they're allowing you to digitize it. And then if it's a game that they have licenses for, they will give you a permanent license, which I like. because even if you're sitting there playing or not playing, but if you own the games, newer Xboxes won't actually have disk drives going forward. It's just the way of things. Unfortunately, because it takes up space, it saves space, except for your hard drive, and it's cheaper for the game developers or publishers anyway. Um, so they're testing a way to allow you to digitize all your games, and then they'll give you permanent license for them that will never expire and they can never remove because you own the game. Since you own the hard copy, you own the game. So that's actually pretty nice.
As it should be.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, that's what PlayStation should have done instead
Yeah.
of saying, we're just not going to do anything.
It was really smart for Xbox to kind of like wait and see what was going to happen. Like they probably had the same exact idea in mind, but were waiting on the results to like decide how to execute this.
Mhm.
What's the most
Uh,
tactful way?
Now I get it. The problem with this whole situation is, like I said earlier, is it's all about this. If you buy it, you own it. You're not paying $80 to lease a game. Uh, and that's my personal opinion. And it goes along with this. If buying ain't owning, piracy ain't stealing, I don't condone it. That's my official stance. I do not condone piracy. You do you. Um, but they can just take it out of the digital media. They've done it to their their movies already. They've already cleared, I think, like 500 movies from their store. But let's go into a discussion. There's pros and cons to both sides of this thing. And as we sat here, Rabbit and I were talking offline earlier, and we had some good reasons as to why owning the physical copy is really good. What were some of the ones you threw out?
Gosh, there's there's a number of reasons. I mean, let's get out of the whole nostalgia argument for a second because that's not a good argument. It's silly, but because I am very nostalgic, I do prefer some of the classic things just because I don't know, things seem more practical back then. But for me, I've had a lot of trouble with accessing certain games that are just digital when either internet goes out or I have to play offline for whatever reason, and I'm not able to access or fully um, like it. There's been times where games have required an update in order for me to play it, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and it won't let me play even offline because it requires some update or something really dumb, and that's preventing me because my internet's out or whatever is going on, and that's really annoying. I feel like things were so much easier when you could just pop a disc in and just play it. You don't need the internet to do anything. You could just, plug and play. It's
Mm-hmm.
so simple, and I like simple. I don't like it when things get complicated. I don't like the idea of having to, um, being required to have a subscription in order to play something I own. I don't like that especially. I feel like it's going into this scam road. We're heading into this direction where I don't like it because everything is a subscription now. Everything is rented. Um, it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm renting a space for a game that I own. Um, but hard disk made things so much easier. But, also as a parent, who gets my kids presents and stuff like that. And I like um, that they get to unwrap things, when I get them presents and gifting them something, especially, the littler ones who get more enjoyment from the package than the toy itself. um, but No, that's something special. I feel like they're taking away, these precious little memories and gift boxes and things like that and presents and the physical, you know, um, the things physically being there,
Mhm.
right in front of you and things are being taken away to imagination land.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me of a I'm trying to remember if it was Instagram or Facebook. I saw a reel where this person was analyzing something another creator said, and the original creator said, uh, among a slew of other things as to why the games being physical media is good. One of them was going to the store and being able to buy a used version of that game because you don't have the 80 or 70 or $80 readily available to sit there and buy a brand new game. So you go to a store like GameStop where you could get it for cheaper to more like $50 and be able to afford that because that $30 goes a long way these days. Or back then, $30 could go a long way. Um,
Yeah,
and it
that's
just made it,
huge.
oh yeah. And it just made it easier to be able to go and get a gift for your kids or multiple gifts or trade in some of your old games that you never played to get one of these newer games. Uh, but then he mentioned along the lines of what you said, a mom working two jobs to be able to afford some good gifts for their kids for birthdays or Christmas or whatever, and then working all those hours to go and buy the game and wrap it up and then give it to the kid and watch the kid's enjoyment as they unwrap the present and see it's a game they've been wanting to play for a long time. You don't really get that with digital games. I could wrap up a gift card in a box and the kid can go unwrap the gift card and then go purchase the game on a digital store. Wow.
I wonder about that. I wonder, like, did it really bother them? Like, the whole concept of buying used, is that hurting their business?
I heard rumors a while back that they were upset with the used game industry or had some negative views about it, but I'm not sure if that's the exact reasoning as to why they're moving away from it now. I got a feeling it just has something to do with they don't want to put uh, uh, disk drives in their PlayStations. It takes up room, and the PlayStation does cost the disk drive. The PS5 with the disk drive costs a little bit more than the full digital edition did.
I see. Yep.
And yeah, so I get the business aspect of it, but I don't know. The problem I have is there's been so many blunders that PlayStation has done, but they know people are going to just buy the games online and not push back on it so hard. Uh, that's the problem with the situation. I play a PC primarily, but I do have a PS5. My PS5 is the one with the disc drive. I am not going to upgrade to a new PlayStation. Never, ever. I will play the Xbox version of a game because I can buy the digital copy and put it on my PC and play it from my computer like I do Steam, like I do that one game that we made popular, Starfield. There we go. I have a bunch of different games that I play through the Xbox app. I can do that. I don't have to go and get a PlayStation. The downside to that is I can't play my Xbox games on my PC. I wish I could. They're probably working on emulators for that right now. Okay, but I do have, I think, a PS. I don't have a PS1. I think I have a 360 still in my garage somewhere.
Yeah, I've got my 360 still. It's modded too. I don't know if I should say that. But yeah, I modified it so I can play like uh booted discs. rip disc that
Yeah.
I downloaded.
And I watch a guy on YouTube called Zach Builds, ZAC Builds, and he's actually building, taking old hardware and modernizing it. And he's actually doing a really good job with it. And if he shows you how he's doing it, I don't know if he shows you how he codes everything, but he's showing you how he builds it, which is awesome because it brings those old disc based consoles from the dead. He rebuilt his Game Boy, the original gray brick Game Boy.
Oh, nice. Oh, I
I
love
know,
I
right?
miss those.
The ones
Uh,
that you couldn't see anything on the screen unless you had a light.
yeah, that was rough. That was rough. Oh my gosh.
Playing a
The
video game with the flashlight in your mouth while playing a video game.
finding some sort of light source was was important. It was life for a while.
Oh, yeah. The Game Boy Advance fixed a lot of things.
But yeah, God, when those came out, everything changed. Everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the Game Boy Color first, because Game Boy Color actually had the backlit screen.
Yes, I
Then the
remember
Game Boy
that.
Advance came out.
Yes, that was nice. And yeah, I mean, being raised by I'm thinking back on it, being raised by a single mom and then, experiencing that myself, living on a single budget, it's like we wouldn't have been able to get our kids these things. My mom wouldn't have been able to get these things for us kids too, on the budget she was on, and I couldn't have either, um, with my single income and working full time. I couldn't afford games at full price. No way. Like every time a new one came out, wasn't going to happen. But I still wanted to be able to, play these things and for my kids to be able to play these things and enjoy these games. And so, like, I always bought stuff used. Like my daughter, she had this great gaming station set up when we're on a contract down in Arizona, and she had the old Wii, like an old PlayStation. I think at the time it was a PS2 or 3. I can't remember, but she had the old PlayStation, older version of the PlayStation, the Wii, and the Xbox 360 set up all on her little TV that she had. And, she would play like her Just Dance. She loved the Just Dance games. I liked them because they kept her active, like while she was inside. And I loved the movement. I got winded. I got like all sweaty and nasty playing that game, but it was a blast. And we bought all her stuff used, and there was no way I could have been able to afford all of those things at full price. No way. There was no way that we would have missed out on all those great memories together. And same with, my mom buying them for us when we were little. She bought them at like a thrift store of some sort and got us our first Super Nintendo. So that was, affordable for her at the time because it was quite old by then. And she couldn't afford like all the newest stuff. Everything that she got us while like after her divorce, was on a very tight budget, very tight budget. So I feel like it's not really fair for the families who relied on this system of buying used in order to access this whole gaming industry. You
Mhm.
know, you're really isolating a whole freaking class here of families, of like single parent homes. Um, even even dual income families are struggling right now,
Yeah.
and everything is tight right now. So it's like you're really isolating, I feel like a huge portion of the gaming community by making this move and cutting out the, access to buying things used. I don't know. I don't know if kids appreciate that nowadays. I mean, it's like, what can you do? But what can we do?
Yeah. I remember me being the gamer I am. going to GameStop as a lowly E2 in the Navy and buying used games because I didn't have the budget as an E2 because get paid crap to go out and buy a brand new game. So I go and buy the used ones. And nowadays, a lot of the games I want to play anyway are used because I'm going back on a nostalgia kick. Uh,
Mhm.
but one thing that you can't do with digital games that you that you can with hard copies is loaning them out and trading between people to try out the game.
Yep.
Because there's times where I might think a game looks really cool. Then I try it and I'm like, it's not really for me. Or, I
Yeah,
beat it too fast.
exactly. You gotta be able to rent something,
Hmm.
at a decent price. I haven't seen any rental options for games in the digital store. I don't know, have you?
Not rent.
Yeah,
I've seen stream, which eh, Xbox lets me stream games. PlayStation lets me stream some games. But I got to pay for the membership for PlayStation Network or Xbox Game Pass to be able to
Jesus.
do either of those.
Might as well buy the game.
Yeah. Now, I pay for the Xbox Game Pass because that's where I play my Starfield.
Mhm.
However, I pay for the PlayStation Network because that's the only way I get my PlayStation online. And in the living room, I watch YouTube and stream movies and stuff on there. Um, just because it doesn't take up a lot of room. And while having physical media is great, there are some downsides to it. One of the biggest ones is it takes up space. And depending upon the size of your collection, it could take up a whole wall. That wall behind me could be nothing but video games with how many I've played over the years.
Yeah, I've had to get creative over the years because I've traveled so much. I've got like a cigar box, an old cigar box, a little wooden one, and it's got like a ton of my games in there. They're just stacked, and they don't have any of the cases on them. Obviously, it's just the discs. I know that sounds awful, but they were. I was very careful with them. Plus, they're probably scratched before I put them in there, anyways. But for the rest of them, the ones that I want to be very careful with. Um, have like 3 copies of The Last of Us Part 1. One of them's the PS3 and, then the PS4 and PS5. And so, yeah, of course, I have to. I've had to buy it every single time a new PlayStation came out just to just to see, like, what's different. So those ones I wanna be very careful with. I don't not a scratch on them, so I'll put them in, like, those DVD cases, where you can put, like, 100 or
Yeah.
so in there, and I've got that. I lug that thing around with me. It's, like, so freaking thick of full of, like, put, like, 2 in to yes, like one of those. Yeah, they do, and, like but if I had the space, they would be out. And if I didn't have to worry about them getting knocked off shelves and stuff like that, right now I'm like hiding all my valuables from the flying footballs everywhere. Um, but if I had the space and wasn't afraid of them getting knocked down, all those cases would be on just a gorgeous display. Just because you know I I, I want to showcase my pretty things. Who doesn't? But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's what it's for, but yeah, it is a lot of room it takes up. Sadly,
Hmm.
wish they didn't, but, there's sacrifices that must be made for things you love.
Yeah. Another downside is performance. And I bring that up in this sense that modern games, uh, when you download everything onto an SD card, the computer can just process it really fast. When you download onto the software, it processes it really fast. It doesn't have to go through reading a disk and then translating that into its processing stuff. It's just saved onto a memory stick. It does make loading screens faster, But in my mind, that doesn't really bother me. I don't mind loading times. I do mind having to wait 5 minutes for a loading screen, but that's a minor thing to me. The big performance one is you've seen the size of modern games. They're running hundreds of gigabytes.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of disks. Now, if they made it where it was like a small SD drive and a small SSD that was designed for that one game, probably cheap enough that way, and then just put a slot reader in the front of the game and slide it in. That's a good workaround because then you could just plug it in and start reading off of it right then and there. You don't have to wait. You're still using your computer. Ooh, this is a concept. I should have no idea how to copyright this, but I should. But that's another way you can do physical media, just a small disk drive with go back instead of 3.5-inch floppy, you're using an SSD with 300 gigabytes of information on it. I
Like a
don't know.
memory card.
Yeah, I don't know what the cost of that would be. Probably more expensive than a $80 game. Hey, why not?
No, man. Yeah.
But take Final Fantasy VII, the original. It was a lot of discs that you had to swap out because of the size of the game.
Yeah.
Now that same game can be loaded onto a thing and you don't have to swap a disc. You can just run it straight through. So that's a downside is because the games are so huge these days.
It's true. I mean, I guess I didn't mind it just because that's what I guess we grew up with.
Yeah, that's what
And
we grew up with.
I guess kids these days might not have the patience for it. I get that.
True. And another advantage to digital media is you can store it on the cloud and access it anywhere. That is an advantage to it. I would not say that's an advantage worth getting rid of physical media for. But you can put it on the cloud, access it. Technically, I can log into anybody's Steam account and download a game from Steam onto their system. Same with PlayStation. I can log into somebody's PlayStation with my account, download the game. They can't play it because, non-transferable licenses and stuff. But I can put it on there.
Yeah. I don't see why they don't just, keep the old and add the new, like as option, as an optional thing. Like you can buy the digital version and maybe they have some advantages, like you can play it on the go or something,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But also it's like, I don't know, they should leave it as an option to still be able to, like, maybe if they sold their consoles without the disk drive,
Mm-hmm.
that one is like significantly cheaper. Like, the price difference alone might say a big thing. But with this added added component, if you wanted the disk drive in your PlayStation, it's going to cost this much extra though. And they could bump up those numbers because people will likely.
That's what they did with the PS5. PS5
Yeah.
was an optional. You could get it with just the digital, which was cheaper, or you could get it with um, the disk drive, which is a little bit more expensive.
Why not
Or
just do that then? Like, uh, that seems more profitable, in my opinion.
or make the games readable by a standard disk drive that you can plug in. The only reason why I got this is because my service records are on a CD, and I need a CD reader to actually be able to use it. And I didn't put one in my computer because, the odds of me needing one, eh, it takes up space. So I got a USB one. It's not as fast, so I wouldn't run a game on it, but it can run movies and stuff. but you can get some that you can plug into a computer. Then you should be able to get one that you can plug into a PlayStation sold separately. So that way you can buy them in two parts and not spend all that money up front.
Mm-hmm.
That way you're not excluding the people who own the discs to games. Now, I'm not saying all modern games that are on discs, the game's not on the disc. It's just the license, it's just the digital key to be able to download it from the game stores, uh, sadly. But like we've said, or like what's been mentioned multiple times is the games these days, Call of Duty, the newest Call of Duty is what, 300 gigabytes? I heard somewhere over 150. I remember loading Star Wars Galaxies and wow, having multiple discs to install the game onto a computer.
Yeah. Yeah. I I remember that, and boy was it a pain and a long process doing it. But it was just, I don't know, I guess it was, that's my nostalgia talking. It was part of the process.
So my thing is I got into some of the games I play because the case caught my attention in a game store or at Walmart. Star Wars Galaxies. I was walking around looking at computer games in Walmart when I was early in my Navy career. Um, Sitting there looking at Walmart, looking at games, saw the Star Wars jump to light speed. Star Wars Galaxies jump to light speed and started reading about it. It's like, no, I want to try this. So I bought the game, installed it, got the membership and all that, and played it. It's an MMORPG, so it was that. But that's where I've made some of my friends y'all see me stream with before. Uh, so I do will I if that when they go full digital, I will miss going to Walmart and seeing the games advertised on the shelves at Walmart or on the shelves at not Best Buy or Best Buy or GameStop, because sometimes I do spur of the moment purchases to see how I like a game, and I'm not going to do that on a digital store. Quite honestly, I was scrolling through Steam today and I was like, that's boring. That's boring. That's boring. Until you told me about Sons of the Forest, and I was like, ooh, I need to get that. So I'm going to probably get
Yeah.
that this next Friday.
Yeah, I hope so. That is, I gotta say, it's addicting, so be careful. It sucked me right in, and I'm stuck in there in build mode, and got my. I haven't been scared playing a game like that in quite a while. So yeah, that's been an adventure. So I can't wait to see you there.
Nice. Yeah, so this is what our thoughts on all of this was. This it's a topic that can be discussed. Everybody has their own opinions on it. Most of the people I've seen are against Sony doing it, but they want to make money and be greedy. That's their thing. They know people will buy the PlayStation.
Yeah, I know everything is going in this direction. Everything is going digital, and hard disks and hard copies of anything. I know it's just going to be for nostalgic purposes. That's the direction we're heading in, sadly. And there are, even with movies and DVDs or TV series, there are a few that I will own on hard disk. One that I really like a lot, and I have to really love it. That I would have a hard copy of, just so I can put it on display somewhere, and have that. I have a box of my movie cases where I won't put them into the DVD case. I won't put them in the cigar box. They're staying with the case. And yeah, I have a few that I feel that way about. There's some that I just love the movies so much that I want the collector's edition with the case and everything that goes with that. Mostly just because I love it so much. I have the first few seasons of The Walking Dead hard disk, and What there's some that I want, like Guardians of the Galaxy. I want all of those. I want all of those on hard disks and collector's editions.
So I actually am going to go to Walmart. Thanks for reminding me. I got to go to Walmart because I want to buy the complete set of Walker, Texas Ranger. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris.
Wow. Wow.
They had the complete set. So I'm going through my computer right now, or not my computer, but this. Let's see what games I got in here. Well, I got my 2012 Alienware M17XR3 resource discs. I bought originally X3 Terran Conflict. I have that in here, the 2.0 version. I have that now on Steam. So let's see what's next. I have StarCraft 2, the disc. Let's see. Yeah. I have the original Star Trek Online disc from when it released.
My gosh.
I have Red Faction Guerrilla. It's a Games for Windows Live, if that tells you how old it is. Let's see. I have Warhammer 40K, Dawn of War 2. I have Flight Deck 5 for Flight Sim 2004. Galactic Civilizations 2, Game of the Year. I have Flight Simulator X in here.
He's such a nerd.
Of course I'm a nerd. I'm a host on the podcast, Raw and Nerdy. I have the installation disc for Windows Microsoft Office 2007 Standard Edition.
Wow.
A fun game. I have the original by installation disc for Spore, which is an EA game, which is kind of fun. Neverwinter Nights 2 installation disc. Delta Force, the 10th anniversary collection.
Nice.
Oh, here's one my friends will like. I have the Fallout 3 with the Pit and Operation Anchorage disc for Windows.
Wow. Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I got
Very
several
nice.
movies in here too, because movies travel. Adam Sandler Bedtime Story, Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, and The Ugly Truth, Stargate, X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Begins. And the thing I missed that you see on these discs that you don't see in digital copies are the extended features, like the bloopers, or in some of the comedy shows, the behind the scenes stuff you don't see that was on the special, where the comedian goes and talks about why certain things happen. Jeff Dunham had it on, was it Arguing with Myself? Is the one I'm thinking of, where he's sitting there explaining why a certain interaction worked, or an earlier show, because they do those shows like 3 times over the weekend, and one of them's the one they put on disc. Well, he had one where he had Peanut flinging around and his hair flew off his head into the front row. And then he saw a guy that was bald, so he took Peanut over to that guy and they hugged.
Oh,
So you don't see that kind of stuff on digital versions. Let's
true.
see. The Day the Earth Stood Still, Resident Evil Degeneration. I got all sorts of stuff in here. Paul Blart mock-up. Oh, Devil May Cry, the animated series.
Nice.
Level 2 and level 3. Do I not have level 1? And then Transporter.
Fun.
Yeah, apparently I at one point had Sins of a Solar Empire somewhere. So yeah,
Gosh.
I have old stuff in here. I didn't know I had to fall out.
Dude. I think I have a PS2 game in mine. So this is my cigar box of goodies. It's actually a little wooden thing. But I got a bunch of I got movies in here too, but I think I got some really old PS2 games in here as well. Oh my gosh. okay, I have the cases and everything, but because I wanted to travel around with me, I have the full Dark Angel series.
Nice.
All 2 seasons of them as far as they got. I was obsessed with Dark Angel, honestly. Do you remember that show?
It's been a while.
I know it was, Jessica Alba's, like, first thing, I guess, like, it was the first thing I've ever seen her in, and I was obsessed with it, not just because it took place in Seattle and I lived in Seattle at the time, but yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. For Xbox 360, I got Guitar Hero 3.
Nice.
Yeah. And I told you I had a modded Xbox, so there were games I downloaded. This is Resident Evil 5. And I mean, because I'm a pirate. um, let me see, I got Michael Jackson's Dangerous Tour.
Nice.
um, Michael Jackson again, this is it. Oh, another one of my booted discs, Dragon Age Orange, or Oranges.
Origins?
Origins.
Dragon Age Oranges. I think you got the wrong version of the game.
I got The Sims 2 for PC.
Oh, nice.
Gears of War 2. Darksiders, Call of Juarez. This is all for my Xbox 360. Fallout 3, also have that one. Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed 2, Wet, and Prototype. I got Saints Row, Silent Hill Homecoming. For PlayStation 2, I got the Godfather game.
Nice.
And yeah, a couple okay, I was into it at the time. American Idol's a couple of my favorite performers.
I
That was it.
voted for one person only on American Idol, and that was the one Carrie Underwood was a finalist on.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
she has a really good voice.
Oh, I had my one also. I voted for David Archuleta. I don't know if anybody remembers him. He was like
So
a teenager kid that was very gifted. Sorry, all that noise. Hard discs.
that's all good. So
I could have
I'd
sworn I
mentioned
had
him.
Tekken 2 though.
I don't have them in this room, but in my garage, I actually have some Xbox 360 games. I have some PS2 games because I gotta look up trying to replace the laser for the PS2 I have. I might actually look into seeing if there's a way to modernize the PS2 to have newer stuff.
Oh.
But I'm gonna see if there's a way. But the PS2 I have, the disk drive laser crapped out, so I gotta replace that. But
Oh.
the one game that got me
Hey.
into online gaming the most, and like I said, it's a multiple install game. If you remember the cases that have.
Yes. Yes, I do remember those.
Oh, here's one for you. I also had the Warcraft chest, battle chest.
Oh, no way.
I think it's. I gotta look for it and see where it's at, but I do have Warcraft, not World of Warcraft. Warcraft.
Was it 1, 2, or 3?
I
Do you remember?
think it's 3.
Oh, that was a good one.
I'm gonna have to go through my stuff in there and actually get everything pulled out. I might see if I can make a wooden box that can safely store the CDs in them and actually mount it on the wall somewhere.
There you go. There you go. That would be fun. I
People are
want to
probably
play all of them. Yeah.
people are probably sitting there saying you can just put them in CD cases and staple it to the. No, I want a box. I gotta be fancy.
I don't know. I feel like it's part of honoring the game itself. You know,
Yeah,
there's a few of those Hall of Famers.
but yeah, there's all sorts of nostalgic games. Uh,
Mhm.
as y'all can tell, we went nostalgic on y'all for the end of this show. But yeah, so there's all sorts of games that I still have discs for, and I'll miss when everything goes. I'll miss the disc when everything goes full digital. Like I said, I have Fallout 3 with the pit and anchor Operation Anchorage on it, and completely forgot I had that original installation disc
Oh,
or that
yeah.
original game disc. Yeah, it's um being in the military. A lot of my games were games that I could play on PC because I was traveling a lot. Um, but I did have a lot of memories of sitting there playing Halo in a LAN party with my friends. Something you don't see anymore because everybody sits in their own rooms on headsets. There's something different about having a LAN party where everybody brings their TVs down into the living room with their Xboxes and you're all just talking to each other, having a good time in person.
Mhm.
Now, don't get me wrong. Some of the coolest people I ever met are all the way across the country. Case in point,
No.
uh, and Archon, uh, all the way across the country. Online games and being able to play online is the way to go. You can meet new people. My guild for Star Wars Galaxies that's now uh traveled with me through Star Trek Online to Lord of the Rings on let me get this in chronological order. Star Wars Galaxies Guild that moved over to Lord of the Rings Online, gave Star Trek Online a shot, jumped over to Star Wars The Old Republic, played the crap out of that for a long time until I finally maxed out a character. And then everybody went back over to Lord of the Rings Online. And that's where they're all at now. So
Nice.
there it's you can build really good friendships and stuff
Yeah.
online, but it won't, to me, there'll be something missing about being able to have a friend at work go, "Hey, you got this game? Can I give it a shot?" And go, "Here you go." So they can give it a shot. And if ultimately they want to buy it, they can go out and buy it. If they don't, no harm, no foul. Somebody got to try it. It's no different than sitting here and letting somebody use my account to play a game for a little bit. The difference is it was a hard disk. I could give it to them and it wouldn't interfere with anything else I did. That is the downside to digital. And I think that is my biggest reason I do not want to see physical media go away. Plus, I don't have to wait for buffering from bad networks for streaming
Seriously.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much there. I remember in high school back when it was I'm gonna say how old I am here, but, not exactly. Um, Back when it was not cool to be a nerd and be into video games, me and one of my close friends, when we finally found out that we both loved video games, it was like this deep, dark secret. But once we found out, we, uh, we started trading Super Nintendo games first. And back then, the new thing was PS2. I think that was like the newest PlayStation that was out at the time, or the newest system. And but we had like Super Nintendos and we were stuck on Super Nintendo games. She had Mega Man and
Nice.
yeah, and I was like, I never got to play that before. I had to sit and watch my friends play, but I never got a turn. And so that was like torture. But when I found out that she had it, um, she was excited about the games that I had, like Donkey Kong 1, 2, and 3, Super Mario World, and All Stars. And so she wanted those. And I traded her for um, Mega Man, a few of them, and a Lemmings game. But but when we traded these games, we we did them at gym class because it was like the most private place that you could go in high school was the girls' locker room. and we would, sit on the same bench, and it straight up looked like a drug deal going on because we were trying not to let anybody see our giant block Super Nintendo games that we were trading. And like we would open our backpacks, sit next to each other, wait till other people weren't looking, and look around, and then, okay, go, quick, put them in my bag, put them in, oh, go ahead, I'll put them in yours. And it was just this quick transaction, really not that smooth, but it looked super suspicious. And we were just so like, don't let anybody see you. Don't let anybody catch you with these games, kind of a thing. Like, don't let anybody know, because we were just closet nerds at the time.
Yeah.
You would die a social death if you were caught. I mean, I don't know how it was for guys, but for girls, it was social death. So to be caught gaming and actually enjoying it. So we tried to keep it hush hush. I think I found out that she liked video games because of Resident Evil. That's what gave me the clue. She had a piano at her house, and when I went to her place for the first time, we had already been friends for like a year already, and I had just barely gotten to see her place. And she had this beautiful grand piano, and I got to play Moonlight Sonata on it. And she was just like, oh, play it again, play it again. And like, she was in love with this song just about as much as I was in love with the song. And she asked me, where did you learn this song from? And I'm like, okay, don't make fun of me, okay? But I first heard this song from, well, it's a game, you wouldn't know it. And she's like, Resident Evil? And I'm like, yes, you played it? She's like, yes, I love that game. Oh my God. So yeah, when you have to play a little bit of Moonlight Sonata to unlock the door. And yeah, that's when we fell in love with that song. And that's what gave her away. That's how I found out that my best friend was a closet gamer, and I was stuck in the closet too.
Nice. Yeah,
Good times.
for me, everybody knows I streamed and everything on my birthday. I'm 42 years old. So
Happy birthday.
like 2 weeks ago, but thank you.
I
Actually, it was
know.
18 days ago.
I
I
know.
hadn't
I think I
realized it.
sent you a happy birthday message on, was it
I
Discord?
probably.
I think so.
I don't remember. But yeah, everybody knew I was a gamer. I was a nerd growing up. I liked the Power Rangers. I gamed. I played Pokemon, all that stuff growing up, even through high school. I read books, whatnot. So everybody knew I was a nerd. It wasn't that big of a deal. Never had that.
Lucky.
Well, yeah, but I'm me. You take me for who I am. Take it or leave it. I stayed to myself a lot growing up because our family wouldn't let me go out to my friend's house because they lived a 10-15 minute car ride from the house.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, that's
but yeah,
rough.
it is. But at the same time, I am impartial to how I was raised at this point. Uh, but that's going to be our show. I'm going to have to edit this to make sure I put a disclaimer, nostalgic alert coming up right before all of that.
I know, and I was trying not to go there. I was trying to avoid it.
I started it by pulling out my thing and started flipping through all the discs.
You did. You started that. But now, it's fun going down memory lane and, giving our, paying our respects to this thing that we know is going away. Sadly, we're moving in this direction. Well, it is what it is.
Mhm.
Again, what can we do? I wish there was more that we could do in protest of this idiotic move, but
Well, if enough people argued it and made a big enough stink about it, um, EA Sports or EA Games in general just learned how vocal the college football video game community is. They tried sneaking in some microtransactions and offline gameplay. EA Sports is trying to dictate how you play your game offline. To me, that is a big no, because offline gaming EA should have no control over. Online gaming, yeah, to make it fair, competitive, that's fine. But I should be able to play a game however I want offline. I'm not affecting anybody else. It's just me. So they got a bunch of backlash on that. They pulled the microtransactions for this year and said they're trying to make college football the college football games and the Madden games a live service game, which I don't know how many. They have a big community that plays online competitively. I don't. I never want to play college football online. I don't have any want to play it online. All my sports games I play offline because I want to do whatever I want to do in the game, whether I be a player, a coach, rebuild a team, whatever. So if the community for EA games can make that big of a push, if enough people got together and just boycotted Sony, yeah. 2028, if everybody boycotted Sony, they would change their tune. Hit that pocket.
I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Like whatever the, I don't know, the majority of the gaming community is wanting to do, like I would do it. I would support it.
Yeah,
But
I said how they could fix it. Just do a little SSD that has the game and a little bit of storage, so you can store your save files on it, and there you go. If you want, you can put it in a little cartridge.
bring back the memory cards.
or bring back cartridges with memory in it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I watched Pokemon where a guy, some Pokemon YouTube channels where a guy actually pulled up his really old games and looked at some of the saves. I've watched videos of where people will go in and quickly swap out a CMOS battery inside a cartridge so the save data on there isn't lost. There's people out there that have adapters they'll plug into a cartridge so they can open up the cartridge while it's powered, swap out the CMOS battery and close, or the watch battery that's in there, close it back up. So that way it doesn't lose that data, because for sentimental reasons, they don't want to lose the data in that game.
It's understandable. There are a few games where I've had, like, I think I still have a PlayStation 2 memory card in my storage unit, and that has Final Fantasy X save data on there. And that was like, I had about, at the time, it was a lot for me, like just over 200 hours of game time on that one. And yeah, like I had spent so much time on that, beefing up my characters and falling in love with the story. And that's definitely nostalgic for me.
Man, I don't know. Even if I had those memory cards, I don't know if they would have a lot of useful data on them, just because trying to pick and choose what you wanted to save on the memory cards. All right.
Yeah.
So it is getting late for both of us, but I think we're at a good stopping point. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It helps us out significantly. If you're listening to a podcast, please give us 5 stars if you're able to. We'd really appreciate it. I want to thank Rabbit for joining us again today and staying up late so she could record this with me. Our next episode, we'll be covering, what was it? I forgot what it was. Community-driven lore. So if you're into that, on a deep dive on community-driven lore, stay tuned next week or whenever I get that recording done. But again, I hope y'all have a great day. And sorry for all the tangents at the end, but that's what this show's about. And y'all stay nerdy.